Hi there, Ari Garber with the Personality Show on MeetAdvisors.com. I am very excited today. I'm joined by a dear old friend who is basically an electronic friend. This is our first time meeting in person, so I'm even more excited. I'm joined by Mark Fechner. Mark, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Finally, nice to meet you.
Yes, indeed.
in person.
In this virtual world,
I know,
things can
exactly.
happen. I've known Mark for many, many years. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself momentarily, but he is a coach, and he works in both the finance world and trading, which is where I originally met him many years ago, and more importantly, he works with organizations and corporates focused on personal development and team development. So with my very limited introduction, Mark, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Mark Fechner. I'm a native Chicagoan, been here my entire life. I have been fortunate to work for myself for many, many years, more so than working in a company, which is preferable. It's kind of how I define my success for myself. Just as a brief background, I have been a graphic artist, I've been a musician, I've been in corporate sales, I've been a trader, that's how we met, and now I've been a certified professional coach now for about 8 years, and expanding my practice as we've come together.
Excellent. In terms of your practice, and my show is about personality and people, I find that the older I get, the more experienced I get, I really understand in this world of technology, it requires people to drive it and people to make decisions. Right. And that's your specialty in coaching.
Absolutely.
You don't coach an app, you don't coach a Wi-Fi router, you coach people.
Absolutely.
And so that was one of the reasons I was very interested in having you here. Tell me a little bit about how you go about coaching people.
Well, coaching people is about making them aware of what they're thinking, what their decision process is, how that has an effect on their goals and where they want to go in life. I got truly involved when, as a trader, I started trading in 2002 and I got involved in traders education in 2005. And through that process, I've learned that in trading, it's not about are you able to follow rules to, make money in the market. It's about how you feel about money and what are you defining as success. And so in this process of understanding how people make those decisions, it's about creating that awareness of this is why I'm making a decision, this is where it's going, and this is how it's affecting the end result that I'm trying to achieve. So
I find that very interesting. I've been a client of a coach. I'm sorry, I didn't know you at the time when I first engaged. And I find my coach over the years, and I've had almost a 9-year relationship with her, over the years, she has not been very prescriptive to me, and I enjoy that. She teases it out of me. Do you follow that similar methodology in that it's not your dictating answers?
Absolutely. I think the true measure of a coach is the partnership and the relationship they have with their clients. For myself, I'm an advocate for my client. I'm an advocate for what are they trying to accomplish, how are they getting there, what are the hurdles that they're coming up against, and then helping them discover what are the best solutions for them. I'm a firm believer that everyone has those answers within them. My success doesn't mean it's going to be the same as your success. So we need to understand what your success is. What is that definition for you? And then let's come up with a plan on how to get there. What is it going to look like for you when we get to that success part? And my relationship with the client is helping them achieve that.
So everything you and I have spoken about has been individualized, and I happen to know, just through background talking to you, that you work with teams, corporate executives, their management teams. Is that a similar model? Is there a different approach in a group dynamic?
Well, in groups, it's still relationships. I mean, whether it's one-on-one with coach to client or, within people within a team or a company, It's still relationships. People still have to communicate with each other. They still make decisions based upon what other people say. And so making that awareness on a team level is just as important. It helps affect not only their performance, their individual performance, but also the team performance. And understanding that if a team decides this is what success looks like, well then everyone can be on board, and through coaching and through understanding their individual decisions, they can all make decisions that are for the benefit of the team.
So throughout this entire conversation of however long we've been on camera, 4 or 5 minutes, I'm disappointed because not once have you done Kumbaya, none of the unicorns and glitter.
Well, I can pull out my saxophone if you want me to.
Excellent. I wish we had that on camera. You don't have much place for that. I think that's one of the reasons you and I have always gotten along. When I was searching for a coach many, many years ago, and my understanding is the market is even more crowded now. I've stuck with the same coach for 9 years. There seems to be a wide disparity of coaching styles, from the unicorns and feel-good kumbaya stuff to the very, very pragmatic and hard-nosed, results-oriented. I think one of the reasons I like you, one of the reasons I like my coach, Jenny, is because it's a healthy balance. You're genuinely a nice guy, but you're also results oriented.
Yes, absolutely.
And you tolerate me, so you know you go up.
Well, there is that too.
Right. How did you arrive at that healthy balance, or is that just innate in you, and that's a reflection in your professional practice?
I think it's because I like people. I mean, I like engaging in people. I like understanding what they're doing and what their thought process is. It's not that I can't appreciate that touchy-feely type of thing. I'll give a person a hug just as easily as, you know, the next guy. But people come to me with very specific reasons why they're not doing well. That has to be addressed. If that isn't addressed, then the hugging and the touchy stuff doesn't have any context.
Context is important. What happens when you're faced with a potential client who's a complete lunatic like me? I mean, you fire them before they become a client?
Well, we make sure there's no sharp objects in the room.
Excellent. Good start.
I do a lot of stuff on virtual, so the lunacy can be on the other side of the country if need be. There comes, you know, I am, in all seriousness, my goal is to help a person in the here and now and then move forward, whatever that is. I don't deal to a great deal with what's happening in the past. My job isn't to say, you know, how did you feel about your mother, your father, and all that stuff. There are people that do that, and there are professionals that do that, and if that's what's necessary, I will be the first one to say, I can't help you. But if your goal is to say, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to go, great. Let's come up with a plan on how to get there.
Fantastic. We're running short on time here. One of the biggest challenges I experience with coaching, and I'd like to use this as sort of our last question on camera, it literally took me about 6 months, and I believe, if I recall correctly, this was 9 years ago, at the end of 6 months of interviewing potential coaches for myself, because it was a commitment of time and money, and it was critical and could have sent me down the wrong path, I wound up with a spreadsheet with, I think, 72 different coaches and the factors I was judging them on. So I was hyper-methodical about it. In general, if somebody is considering engaging a coach, whether you or your competitors, what are those factors they should be looking at to sort of short-circuit that 6-month path I took?
It's all about relationship. It's all about how you and I, if you and I were the issue, how you and I talk to each other, how you and I engage with each other. Like I said earlier, my role isn't to tell you what to do. My role is to help you, number one, figure out what you want to do, and two, how to get there. And so that comes with being authentic, that comes with integrity, that comes with holding you accountable for things that may or may not be getting done, and then why is that not getting done? And it can be very personal in that conversation. So whoever the relationship is with, it needs to be someone that you're comfortable with and sharing those kind of things.
Okay, so based on that, I'd like to apologize to Coach Jenny on video for being a horrible client for years and years and years. So, Mark, thank you so much for sharing some of what you do.
Yeah.
How can people find you if they want to find out more about
I have a
coaching?
website.
Excellent.
It is Mark Fechner. It's M-A-R-K, F as in Frank, E-C-H-N-E-R.com. And I have my phone number is on there, and I have a mail address is mark@markfechner.com. You can always reach me there as well. And I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm all over the place.
Excellent. Then I know I'll be calling you just to chat soon.
Absolutely.
And, I hope our audience enjoyed this interview.